I have some of the best subscribers in the world. Here we have somebody offering his theory of how this all came about. Now, I want to make sure you understand I'm not endorsing this theory. I'm simply presenting it as something that someone who watches this channel came up with. Hi, Tony DeWitt here. I'm a Missouri appellate attorney, retired, and I bring you a fresh perspective on the law without offering any legal advice. So pull up a chair. This is what we're discussing today. So here's the alternative scenario proposed by our viewer. Brian H., who I assume to be Brian Higgins, begins jostling John O. as soon as he arrives at the Alberts' house. Colin, still upset because John turned him and his friends in for selling dope in front of John's house, grabs a weight and hits John in the back of the head. In the excitement, Chloe, the dog, grabs John's arm. They get a hold of Proctor, whose shift was ending, to stay on duty and protect the ring bearer from his wedding, Colin. Higgins, who figured he was set up to start a fight not knowing what was actually planned, gets out of there as soon as he could and goes to the Canton PD so he can hear if anything was reported and clean himself up after he messed his pants. Well, that's an interesting theory. I don't know how well it fits with the evidence. You guys will have to tell me what you think. You have to be really careful in coming up with alternative theories like this. And the reason why is because when you do something like this, you have to make your theory fit the evidence, not the evidence fit your theory. And so in this situation, I don't think there is anything that suggests that he hit him with a weight. He hit him if he was hit with something. I don't think it was a car, and neither does the medical examiner, by the way. This is interesting because it certainly does explain both Higgins going to the Canton PD afterwards, as well as what happened with the injury to John's head. But just because there are pieces of the evidence that fall into this scenario doesn't necessarily mean that it's likely. But we should all be thinking of perhaps what we think is the best explanation. I have not yet been able to unify a theory around what might have happened. And so perhaps this is just as good as any other theory. And certainly, this doesn't have to be true for Karen Reed to be not guilty. Brian Higgins doesn't have to have done anything in this case for her to not be guilty of this crime. It would certainly be convenient if there was somebody that we knew actually had done it. But again, I haven't seen the evidence that convinces me that Higgins did anything. And so I want to make sure that's clear. That's what I have for you today. I hope you found it helpful, interesting, or maybe both. If there's a subject you'd like me to discuss, please feel free to send me an email at the address above. If you like what we do, please feel free to subscribe and come on back to the beach tomorrow. I release videos every weekday, weather and work permitting. If you have the opportunity today, do a kindness for your fellow man. It makes the world a better place, one kind act at a time. And now, YouTube has some suggestions for other videos of mine that you might like.